Hello, everyone. Okay, welcome to the 7th Live. Today is April 2nd. It is April, but still Greywater, Mao, Rabbit month because the month is not changed yet. The Dragon month will begin on April 5th. Still 3 more days left. And today is Ewood, Yo Metal, the Rooster Day, and it is a dog time in the United States. And it is the day of clash between the rabbit and the rooster. Did anybody experience any clashing aspect today? The clash is happening between metal and wood, but for each daily master, it shows the different way in a different way. What did you experience? Just briefly saying, for wood daily master, the clash is happening between friendship spirit and the official spirit. And for fire daily master, same between wood and metal, but it's between mother spirit and the wealth. And for the earth, the clash happens between official and the child as an output. And for metal daily master, clash happens between wealth and the friendship as myself. And for water daily master, the clash happens between input and output, the mother spirit and the child. Argument. I notice a lot of events and issues from my family. What am I supposed to experience from this clash? Insubordinate. Literally, clash means some kind of conflict energy, and it doesn't constitute good or not, good or bad. It could be a good clash, it could be a bad clash, but usually clash makes the change. And to make the change, we can have an argument, we can have a surgery, we can have an accident, and then our direction will be changed to the other way. But if we put the 10 spirits, it happens between those 10 spirits. So for example, the wood daily master, the clash happened between myself and the official. Friendship spirit as a myself means like my ego, my self-respect, that I believe in myself. That is the friendship spirit, the myself energy. And then that makes a clash with the official spirit. The official is the element that controls myself, the element that tries to create a territory for myself. It could be a work, it could be a school, it could be a family, it could be any kind of legal thing. So for Wood Daily Master today might be some kind of pressure from that organization. If that is student, the official spirit works as a school. School's pressure come to myself, and then I try to struggle with that, fight against the school's will, not my will, but some will that comes to me as my responsibility to solve that. And it could be job's energy, job's stress, and myself. And if the Wood Daily Master is a female, the official spirit could be the romantic relationship or husband. Those energy create a clash with my self energy. So my self-respect, that opinion, and the official spirit, the husband's or the romantic relationships opinion could have some different opinion. That one will create the other solution or direction to go. Yeah, and for fire, same mother spirit as my input, that I have to be support. I need to nourish myself. And those energy create a clash with wealth. Literally, it could be money problem. I have the money problem and I want to get nourished. So the money between money and study can be conflicted, or for fire daily master, if it's the male, wealth is the romantic relationship or wife. So those energy could have some kind of conflict with my input, which is the part of my self-respect as well. Those things can happen in many ways. For earth, between official spirit and child. So official spirit is what I said before. It's not from my will. It is the organization's will, school's will, job's will, or husband or romantic relations will that comes to me, that gives me a pressure. Those energy makes a clash with the child spirit as metal. Child spirit is what comes from me, what comes from myself. That is my creativity, my opinion, like my idea, the things that I want to do with my will. So my will versus other people's will or other organizations' will, schools' will have some clash, the conflict energy. And for metal, it's similar to fire. myself, the friendship spirit's energy creates the clash with the wealth, which means money versus me, or the wife versus my opinion, wife's opinion versus my opinion, like that. We can interpret as like, yeah, many different way. And for water, the clash between mother spirit as I want to get nourished, I want to take a rest, versus the child spirit is I want to do something with my will, I want to create something. The energy that I want to take a rest versus I don't want to take a rest. Those two energy will create the clash aspect. So anyway, it's a two different opinion and two different energy is kind of conflicting in myself. Should I do this or that? It is exactly different, the opposite energy, because one is wood energy is for spring energy. It is rising energy, uprising energy, and metal is fall energy. It is descending, more like descending energy. So one is uprising, one is descending. So those two different energy can create some kind of argument and conflict. Is yesterday's clash stronger than today's because it was a day of Ghost Gate? And what is the meaning of the term Ghost Gate? Absolutely a little misunderstanding relate to money, but solved. That's great. Okay, I will answer this question first. About health, wood is blood circulatory system. I consider the fire as a more circulatory system. Wood is more about nervous system. Fire is more like circulatory system, blood, heart, and small intestine. And wood is more related with liver or thyroid. But those two are very, very much connected. Like wood can be, we can say wood is like blood circulatory system, part of circulatory system, because the liver is involved in a lot of blood work. But whole like circulation is about the fire. And for Vincent's question, yesterday versus today, that means you guys watched the weekly flow, right? And the yesterday clash might happen between those two, the monkey and the tiger. And today the clash happened between rabbit and the rooster. There's always the more influence is happening between those two who are located on side by side. So day and month, or the clash is, if clash is happening between month and year, like those two together, happens more about the clash. And this one, the yesterday's energy between day and year clash is kind of not very close, but it could happen between the day as an individual energy versus the yearly flow, yearly energy, which was like big dream, big picture of this year, could have some conflict. But as you said, there is a ghost gate yesterday. I'll just put anything between those two. I don't like this one, but yeah, the ghost gate happened between monkey and the rabbit. And the meaning of ghost gate is the things that I can feel more sensitive. If ghost gate happens between wealth spirit and myself, maybe my energy, my mental could have more sensitivity with that wealth, about the money problem, or about the romantic relationship problem, or about with my father, like that. And it happens between child spirit versus my input. It could work as I feel more sensitive to my child, like that. And sometimes a lot of psychological issue can happen if that is really severe. In this case, it is not that severe because wood is stronger. But if the ghost gate happens, like for example, let's say the yearly energy is the monkey again, there's no clash anymore, there's double ghost gate. Yeah, in this case, the wood energy get really influenced by these two metal. So metal already controls the wood, but two metals control the wood at the same time and then create the ghost gate at the same time. So the wood become really sensitive because wood, I said, it is a nervous system. It is whole neurons and whole nerves in our brain and the body. So if that one get damaged by the metal, that could possibly create the psychological problem sometimes. And if the metal is the dominant energy, that happens more. I guess whenever one upset, meaning the blood pressure is rising. Yeah, that is also true because wood correspond with the liver's energy, and then we call it as a liver yang is uprising. So whenever liver gets hot, or whenever liver gets a little bit more outrage mode, all the chi, the wood energy direction is upward, uprising, or certain direction, straightforward energy. So those energy can kind of give the pressure to the fire because wood generates fire, right? The wood uprising energy kind of affects whole circulatory system as fire, the relation between wood and fire. Very naturally, if winter energy comes and the water gets larger, the summer energy should have to decrease. Several months later, this wood energy will generate the fire in summertime, not right now, not winter time. So it's the same analogy. If the wood gets bigger in springtime, earth gets smaller first because of controlling cycle. This week's weather did not follow the day pillar. So does the day pillar predict the weather as what it is supposed to be in accordance with the Xiang cycle and not what it actually is? Then when you have deviation from the normal predicted weather causing unusual temperature swings, such as it is abnormally cold or hot, that's when environmental chi can invade the body. Yeah, that's true. I keep saying from last week about the wood-earth relationship, like this month and last month, especially this month in March, there is a lot of wood energy. So wood gets really large, wood gets really bigger. So the earth can lose its role. Earth role is the harmonization. Earth is balancing all other four elements. Like except the earth, there are four: wood, fire, metal, and water. Earth is controlling, managing all four elements in a harmonized way. But if the wood is really strong and earth gets really weak, like earth loses the kind of balancing energy, so wood can be really recklessly move around the world. For example, wood is related with a lot of wind. A lot of windy days could happen in those strong wood days. But the weather is kind of really complicated. Weather is really complicated. We have to figure out the yearly energy as a Wu Yun Liu Qi and the monthly energy. And the day energy is quite small, but day energy usually follows the like temperature, like a little bit humid or dry, or a little bit warmer or a little bit colder. That is followed by the daily pillar. But I observed it is not totally accurate because combining those three, like yearly energy, monthly energy, and daily energy to predict the weather is really a lot of work. Yeah, I'll do that later, but spending a lot of time to figure out. So I don't usually do that. Thank you, Vincent. Is the wood overcoming the metal today based on the daily chart? It depends on someone's chart, actually. If someone's chart has a lot of metal energy, wood is already small, but today's energy is kind of supporting the wood. Like daily pillar, there is a metal as a rooster, but still month and yearly pillar, the wood is really strong and metal's really weak, actually. So this year's energy is already, wood is overcoming the metal. But if for someone's chart has a lot of metal, this wood energy can help this wood a little bit bigger. Yeah, I'm kind of confusing between those two. I'm drawing the left side chart as my natal chart, the right one as today's energy. If someone's chart has already strong wood like that, metal is already weak. Metal already cannot really control this wood. Plus, with this natal chart, plus today's energy, these strong wood add up more wood energy and more overcome the metal. As someone said, it's a Wu cycle like that. Insult. We call it as an insult. The metal should control the wood, but because of the strong wood, metal cannot really control. And I got one question about this. It's not a live session. Since fire is so big, he's talking about this chart. Since fire is so big, when wood years 2022 came, why did Earth go smaller? Since wood can generate more fire, which can generate more Earth as well. So it's many people's question. It's like if one energy generates one element, this fire will generate the Earth and then getting bigger. But what I kept saying like last week was if this wood energy gets larger, since the month and year energy is wood, if the wood energy gets bigger, I draw the earth energy smaller because it is in controlling cycle. But because of this wood, fire also gets bigger because wood generates fire. So the question was like that. So if wood generates fire and fire gets bigger, why fire cannot generate the earth? If we consider all the generating cycle, like if wood generates fire, fire gets bigger, so fire generates earth, earth gets bigger, so earth generates metal, metal will get bigger, metal will generate water, and water will get bigger. It's never end. It's never end cycle if we keep saying about generating cycle. But it is the timing. It is timely manner. One element generate the next element happens first, and then after that, if fire can generate the earth later, but it doesn't happen right away. It takes time, at least a couple months, I don't know. But wood generates fire the first, and then there are two directions. One element can generate one element and control the other element. These two directions happens first, so generate the fire, controls the earth. And after that, maybe a couple months later, after that, the fire will generate the earth. Usually, if strong wood happen, earth get decreased first. I'm not sure it's the right explanation, but if we consider if water gets larger, water is usually considered as winter energy. Water is considered as a winter, and fire is considered as a summer. So the analogy is that if water gets bigger, so water generates the wood, and why the fire is not bigger because of the wood. We can say very naturally, if winter energy comes and then water gets larger, the summer energy should have to decrease. Several months later, this wood energy will generate the fire in summertime, not right now, not winter time. So it's the same analogy. If the wood gets bigger in springtime, earth gets smaller first because of controlling cycle, but after several months, it will create the fire, and then those fire energy will create the earth later. The direct and indirect effectiveness, or whichever impact first. I don't really consider direct or indirect first, but anyway, wood will generate fire, no matter the fire is direct something or indirect something. And the wood versus earth as well. Wood-earth relationship is controlling cycle, so it could be direct wealth or indirect wealth. But no matter what, indirect or direct, the 5 elemental energy affects first, and then we can figure out, if that earth energy is direct or indirect later. What happens when one element is very strong, for example, fire horse supported by tiger wood? Then fire will increase more. What if this energy comes? And those wood will generate this fire more than the normal. So fire gets larger. When the horse energy will come, the fire gets more energy. And that's the way we want to put the generating cycle. If there's a goat, this goat will take this fire energy as well. So the earth might get a little bit larger. Then there's no goat. Acupuncture points happen right away, so why does it take longer in your model? Yeah, in acupuncture is artificial. Artificially, we create the energy to really send those. It's similar way, but it is different. Like it is seasonal energy. The seasonal energy, the wood energy gets strong. If the wood energy gets strong, usually wood and fire get influenced first. And the earth is kind of the other way. Earth is opposite side of the wood. So it can influence as a controlling cycle first, not the generating cycle. But it will create the generating cycle eventually. An acupuncture point, when we put the needles on that, our intention could send this wood energy to the earth to support the earth. So that's our intention and our model to use the points to manage those imbalance. So we can manage that as a treatment, but we cannot manage the season. We cannot manage the weather. So those things we cannot really control. But for acupuncture treatment, we can do that. For example, if acupuncture the sun or grandson point, it happens immediately. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what we want to create, the treatment effect. So that's the beauty of this medicine. We can make a balance that we found what is the imbalance. Whenever it's crossing in the middle, that is the image that these two energies are creating kind of balanced way. The sign of making a balance. But in 2022 and 2023, creating a lot of gap between the fire and metal. One energy gets really high, one energy gets really low. We can think that is the symbol of the imbalance timing, symbol of the separation, or symbol of the not communicatable between those two. Since this chart was discussed about the romantic relationship and divorce, I prepared some chart of the timing of the imbalance between me and the romantic relationship. So this person, I brought this person's chart to really figure out when this person got divorced. This person got divorced in February in this year, because the wood generate the fire, and fire gets bigger, and what fire will do is controlling this metal first, so metal gets smaller. So between the friendship spirit as a myself and the wealth spirit as a romantic relationship, if it's a male chart, the imbalance between those two has been created in this February. Whenever the tiger energy comes, the fire gets support from the tiger, and then fire as myself energy get larger. So wealth spirit is shrinked by or melted because it's fire energy. So the metal energy get kind of melted by that fire. That was the timing of the imbalance happen. If we look at this line plot, the fire line is the energy of the fire as a myself, the friendship spirit, and the metal's energy is showing the wealth spirit as a romantic relationship. So whenever it's crossed in the middle, like 40 to 50%, 60% is fine, but it is when it is crossing in the middle, that is the image that these two energies are creating kind of in a balanced way. So sometimes fire gets larger, sometimes metal gets larger. Those two kind of up and down, but cross each other. And that's the sign of making a balance. But in 2022 and 2023, creating a lot of gap between the fire and metal, fire gets larger. Fire gets increased a lot from 2022, and the metal gets really low, really decreased. And then those two end, if that energy gets really different, one energy gets really high, one energy gets really low, we can think that is the symbol of the imbalance timing, symbol of the separation, or symbol of the not communicatable between those two. So fire is talking about myself is more important as a friendship because the friendship spirit gets stronger. My self-ego, my self-respect is more important, and then the metal's opinion is not very important. So for fire, he can ignore the metal's opinion, he can ignore the metal's energy. So Jamie, if we see this chart, we can directly use acupuncture point to send those fire energy to the metal, to support the metal. So in this case, we can use the Ke cycle, the controlling aspect, to support the metal. We can do that, but without the treatment, it just happens naturally. If fire gets larger, metal gets smaller because it is in controlling cycle. So when it goes apart, 2022, this person get divorced with his wife. And there's another chart. It is the female chart, wood daily master. So wood become friendship spirit as a myself, and metal become official spirit as a romantic relationship, the husband. So from 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, it was fine. It was kind of cross each other. And then it is like separating in 2019. So this person decide the divorce in 2019. And then all the process takes about 2 years and then finished in 2020. So like that, the separation is really a big part of the communication, actually. I don't know who is this chart. Oh, okay. Yeah, this person also female chart, metal daily master. So metal is myself as a friendship spirit. Fire is official spirit as a romantic relation. So this person not marriage, but met a boyfriend in 2018 when those two energies are meeting together. Maybe 16 as well, but I don't know, before 18. In 2018, this woman met a romantic relationship, be together with him for 3 years. And then whenever the 2022 came, the fire energy start increasing a lot. And then myself as daily master's energy get decreased and they hit the bottom. So those two gap gives her a pressure because fire controls me. So they broke up in 2022. Whenever 2022 began, she left. So those timings are really important. Yeah, this person as well. Oh, this person is already weak. The fire daily master. The metal is not official. Metal is the wealth spirit for him because he is should be fire and metal should be wealth. So we can see in 2018, there is most like not communicatable mind. So in 2018, 2019, those 2 years, this person also get divorced with his wife. And in 2021, the desire for meeting a new romantic relationship happened. And for females chart, child spirit's energy is really important to see the romantic relationship because the child spirit is controlling the official spirit. So child spirit is wood, daily master is water, and the official spirit as a romantic relationship is earth. So when child spirit gets larger, it will control the official. So earth get decreased. Of course, the self, myself, is also get decreased. In 2019, because of the child spirit increasing a lot to the max, this person didn't get divorced, but her desire to break this family was really high in 2019 and then get recovered in 2020 and 2021. They are fine right now. What happens when May comes and snake meets tiger punishment for the whole month? Let's find the May's energy. So the energy of punishment is considered as similar to clash, but it is not directly conflict, directly create an argument. But there is some kind of annoying situation because it's not very clear if someone's opinion, someone's energy is really opposite from my opinion. It is easy to just make an argument, but looks like the other side opinion is sometimes right, sometimes wrong. It could be right, it could be wrong. Like that kind of a little bit not clear situation. The punishment means those kind of situations. So like little bit of annoying energy can happen in May. Here's punishment. The May's energy creates the punishment, right? The things that is corresponded with the tiger wood energy and something that is related with the fire energy could have some kind of annoying power dynamic. Anyway, the tiger will generate the fire and the fire gets larger. So wood fire gets larger. That is the basic 5 elemental picture. But the snakes sometimes try to become metal, try to become water. It is fire, but with the combinational aspect, sometimes snake's energy goes to the metal energy. That time is kind of annoying time for tiger. And sometimes the snake energy go to the water sometimes. It's kind of not predictable. Snakes should be fire, but why it suddenly turn into metal? Why it suddenly turn into water? So that kind of annoying situation is the meaning of the punishment. So the things are not very clearly advancing forward. It's about the time of the waiting time of the annoying, like patience, be patient with that annoying situation. Because anyway, seasonal energy will go toward the fire. So the wife does not have to be fire dominant herself. It is based on the male chart. And if the daily master is metal, then the romantic relation is fire. Yeah, if that is female chart, if the daily master is metal, then the romantic relationship is fire. Did I put the wrong one? But if the female is fire, will the condition be made even worse for the metal daily master male? Yeah, in this case, the wife doesn't have to be the fire dominant. This is the male chart, and the graph is all about the perspective of the male chart. Even though the fire and the metal creates an imbalance in the male chart, maybe in his wife's chart, herself and the romantic relationship might create a balance. Then maybe divorce doesn't happen. But I don't know what his wife's chart is, so we can only assume based on the male chart. And as you said, if the female's chart is also fire, the perspective of male and female will be different. This female's chart doesn't really add up the fire energy to the male. It is just different person's point of view. For female, if his wife's chart is fire, daily master, the official spirit should be the romantic relationship. So this wife might think her husband as water, so it is different. The fire I draw his wife's chart same as the husband. So in this case, his wife is also strong chart, also strong. And in 2022 and 2023, maybe similar line plot can happen. It might influence more or not, But in this case, if his wife's chart is metal daily master and fire dominant, this one is kind of overlapped. If the daily master is metal in female's chart, official spirit, the fire is the romantic relationship. So if fire energy increases in 2022, the same power dynamic can happen in husband chart and the wife's chart. So this kind of two charts can increase the possibilities of the divorce because same energy dynamic will happen. So it is important to see both husband and wife's chart together to see the different mind. But in the perspective of the husband side, we can understand the metal is quite overwhelmed by this fire. So we can assume only the power dynamic from the husband side. Anyway, if the romantic relationship, those two elements go together in the middle, in the center, that is kind of happy life. That is kind of meaning the happy life. When the energy goes the far, one is really dominant and one is really weak. Really weak means I cannot really talk. I cannot really speak out my opinion. The strong energies are always speak out first. So that is the dominant energy's meaning. The dominant energy can speak their opinion out, and the weak energy person usually tends to listen to the dominant energy's opinion. The dominant energy, if this case, the wood, as a friendship spirit myself, gets larger, my opinion is more important, and then those metals energy is not very important for this person. Conflict and argument and the complaining is coming from those two big gap. So whatever our behavior was in February and March, those wood energy will now govern our head. Now the wood mind can really happen with the earth. Talking about the April's energy, the dragon. Today I cannot really go all of the dragon's energy, but at least we can start a little bit. February and March energy, we talk about the wood is taking a lot of part. Especially in March, the earth energy gets really decreased because there is no fire in rabbit. There is fire in tiger and earth in tiger. So fire and earth get supported a little bit in February, tiger's energy. But in March, because the rabbit only has 2 wood in the hidden stem, there's no fire, there's no earth. So wood gets really larger. And then those large wood energy controls the earth. So those strong wood energy is the theme of these 2 months, February and March. Whatever the wood is in your 10th spirit, if it is input, the input mind is really increasing. If there is a wealth spirit, the wealth spirit mind is really increased. If that is official, the official spirit gives me a lot of pressure. If that is self, as a friendship spirit, myself, if myself is wood, myself gets really larger, so become really confident like that. And then those 2, February and March energy, the tiger and rabbit, now coming to the heavenly stem in April, these 2 energy is now revealed in the heavenly stem. Then now it is really showing in the outer world. So stems is the energy that governs this month, but the reality is happening in the branch. Stem is governing our head and mind and thinking. So whatever our behavior was in February and March, those wood energy will now govern our head. Now the wood mind can really happen with the earth. So there is a lot of balance between, you can see a lot of balance between wood and the earth. Still, the earth is really smaller than the wood because it is wood year. But in this month, earth get a little bit support. Actually a lot of support from 4% in March, now 25%. Based on my calculation, you can see the sense that how much the earth get increased. That is the theme of March to April. Earth gets really weak in March, but now earth is trying to make a balance with the wood. And also, this is wood year. This is considered as a wood year. But on the heavenly stem, there was water. So water generating wood happened in this year, and February and March. And this water energy, if you remember my first live stream, these water energy come from last 3 years, 2019 to 2021, and then same thing happened in this year. These water energy is governing whole this year. Whatever we experienced in last 3 years, now those experience governs our mind and thinking, and then all the behavior is coming from that water mind. What if I failed? I have a bad memory in 2020, so should I go for that or not? Should I invest or not? Or should I start the studying or not? Should I borrow the money or not? That all our thinking and mind is happening based on last 3 years water energy. And that water energy is governing this year. And then the same thing happened in February and March. Same water. So we are kind of obsessed with our 3 years experience. And those 3 years water energy is kind of holding the wood energy, not really going out, which means wood to fire. And because there was no earth, there was very lack of earth, wood cannot really spring out. You said that is right. The young wood suppressing dragon earth. That is right. That is the controlling aspect. But control aspect is, the purpose of controlling is creating a new energy. It is the relation between the wood and the earth is earth gets controlled by the wood. If you think about the nature, the tree, if the tree and plants are rooting down on the earth very firmly, very strongly, wood can grow more, right? If there's no earth, if there's only the seed and the water, it's like the February and March's energy, there is a seed and sprout as a wood and the raining. So there's water and there's a seed and sprout. And then it can grow a little bit, but there's no earth to root down. So it cannot really grow. The dragon month is symbolizing that now the would start rooting down its root to the earth firmly. Now the real wood time is beginning. In February and March, we have some kind of trauma of the water. And then we cannot really some people forced with the wood energy, but without seeing the light. Light means the fire. Still there is a darkness in those 2 months as a water energy. And then now the water is gone. Now water is gone in April, and water is now stored in dragon. It is like hidden. Now water goes to be stored, and the water energy is not there anymore, and then now really wood time is beginning. So all the water energy is trying to generate this wood, and this one as well. And then if earth is like this small, like March, it is suppressing the earth. This rabbit and tiger is suppressing the earth. And in dragon month, now the earth can take the wood energy a little bit because it has enough energy, if it has enough source. And the dragon is really good earth. Out of 4, there are 4 earth: the dragon, goat, dog, and the ox. And then dragon is the best earth for the wood to root down and grow. That's why it's in the spring season. It's a storage branch of the spring. It is storage branch of the wood. And now wood is rooting down onto the ground as a dragon and then fly to the fire. Like small cycle of wood season is kind of completed in the month of April. And then after that, from the snake, small cycle of fire will begin. Oh, Quartz, good morning. Jia and dragon are both young, so it will not suppress very well. It is about the indirect and direct relationship. I look at more about what energy is stored in the earth. Dragon contains water a lot because water is now stored in dragon. Now wintertime, we can say wintertime is now completed, and then it is hidden in the dragon as a storage branch. It is stored in dragon. So those amount of water is the source that this Jia wood can use as a resource. That's why the Chun earth, the dragon, is the best earth out of 4 to grow. For example, the Cho earth, the goat, the Cho earth, the ox, that earth contains the metal, so it suppresses the wood in Cho earth time. And then dog, in dog, there is a fire in it. The wood energy can be a little bit dispersed in the dog time. And goat, in goat time, it stores the wood energy, so it is also supporting the wood as well. But the dragon, it stores water as the mother of the wood. It supports the wood the most. And I want to really find one picture to show the dragon's role is really important, because if we consider this wood as a, let's say we say this wood energy as a Spider-Man. Spider-Man shoot the web to kind of fly, and then whenever the Spider-Man finish the move, he has to find another building or another trees to really hook his web. The role of the earth is like that. With earth, wood can step out again, that it can bounce again and then go further. It's the steps between. If we play the Super Mario, the game, there's like bricks, and then we have to jump between those two. Then we can jump again. If there's no steps or bricks next to this land, the Mario will fall down. If we consider this one as a like cliff, if we think this one as a cliff, this Super Mario has to jump to here, and those are considered as a Chun Earth dragon. So with these bricks, he can jump to here and then go to next level. That's the role of the earth, especially Chun Earth, for the wood to go to the next step, which means the fire, summer energy. That's why the Chun dragon is in between those wood and fire. So wood gets really larger, and then now root down in the dragon, and then now fly to the fire. That's the order of these seasonal energy. Compared to a yin and yang combination, is this correct? Yang versus yin. Maybe some scholars consider those relationships a lot. I usually don't really consider yang versus yang will not suppress, or yang versus yin will suppress. Usually yang and yin creates more harmony, and yang to yang that's not very important. For me, the size of the element is more important. So this size difference is more important than it is yang or yin. It is yang or yin can give us more kind of subtle interpretation. It is very in detailed interpretation. We have to consider about yin and yang. But the first we want to focus on, is this earth strong enough to handle the control of the wood? So the April's energy is now our thinking has been governed by those water energy from last 3 years. Then now those mind is gone. Now it is stored in dragon, and the wood mind is really beginning from the April's energy. Of course, sure, this water energy on the heavenly stem governs whole year of 2022, but in a monthly view, the real wood season is really happening in April. Especially, it is also creating the part of seasonal combination of the wood, the tiger and dragon. It is a half combination without the rabbit. But there are a lot of rabbit days in April, so whenever the rabbit comes, this one forms really solid wood energy. Okay, that was what I have prepared for today. Next time I will just go over each daily master in April. What happens in April for each daily master. Thank you so much. I will wrap up today's live session here. I'll see you guys next week. Okay? Thank you. Bye-bye. Any last question? I should have prepared more, like better image. This is not very satisfying. Yeah, thank you everyone. Bye-bye.